Now let's go to our co-host Vedika. She'll just give a brief introduction of herself and then we'll start with the entire workshop.
Okay, thank you, Apeksha. Good afternoon, everyone. Also, sorry for the delay we had. Thank you all for joining in today. And yes, about me, my name is Vedika Nair. I will be co hosting today's workshop alongside Apeksha. I am a junior psychologist at MindTribe Healthcare, and it's been a year now since I've worked at MindTribe. So, the areas of concerns that I specialize in include stress, anxiety, depression, emotion regulation, self esteem, along with other concerns, right? So, moving forward, I hope we have a very interactive and fun learning experience today, right? So, now I'd request our host to take over from here. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Apeksha.
Yes, perfect. You can go to the next slide, Vedika.
मी ड्रायव्हरला पाठवते तू लोकेशन पाठव मी लगेच पाठव ओके ओके
Perfect. So now let's just understand a couple of norms before we start with the workshop. During the workshop, if you think that you have anything to contribute to, or like for example, if you have to put your views, please make sure to raise your hands and then we can take up the concern. The second would be with respect to confidentiality. Whatever discussions which would happen in the workshop, or with respect to what I will be sharing, or with respect to what you will be sharing, it will stay in the workshop. So I am requesting each and every one of you to not take up the discussion outside the workshop. The next will be no gossip. Please refrain from gossiping about the concerns which is being shared by other people in the workshop. Fourth would be mic off. If you want to speak or if you want to share anything with respect to your life, you can raise the hand and then open your mic and share with us. But I'm requesting everyone to keep their mic off. Fifth, no screenshots and recordings. The PPT which is being presented to you is the intellectual property of the MindTribe. So please make sure that you're not screenshotting or not screen recording any of the slides. Next. Now, before we dive in, there is a question I have for all of you. Since most of the participants are adults, which areas in your life are you particularly struggling in the most? You can type in the chat box or you can open your mics and let me know. Okay, career.
Anxiety.
Anxiety, okay. Others? Anything which is at the top of your head. Okay, career. Household work. Fair enough. Career, okay. Taking up other responsibilities and definitely career, okay. Yes, Prayag, stress management. Priya says career and mental health. Minath is confusion. Relationships. Fair enough, fair enough. Mental health, an important one. Emotional boundaries, new job, interacting with people, overall growth. I do understand that all these factors can take a huge toll when we enter our adulthood. Decision making, job pressure, friends with feelings. Fair enough. I do understand that, whatever all of you have mentioned can take an extremely huge toll on your mental well-being and physical well-being as well. So today in this workshop, we are going to navigate all of the things which you have listed. And along with that, we are going to find a solution as to how you can deal with it as well. How to make perfect decision just to not regret. Fair enough, fair enough. Trauma caused me to stay away from people nowadays so much, I trust. I do understand that an experience which leads to trauma can lead to trust issues. Not a problem. Even adult trauma, not a problem. So let's just go ahead and see what exactly are we going to do in this workshop. Avidika, next. So today I am welcoming all of you to this workshop which is named Navigating Adulthood, where we will understand how we can overcome the challenges and how we can build resilience. Because as we enter into adulthood, it's the challenges will be the part and parcel of our life. But building a very effective resilience can help us overcome those challenges in a much better way. Fair enough? Because adulthood brings with a lot of challenges, be it house challenges, career challenges, relationship challenges, as all of you have listed beautifully in the messages. And thank you so much for being so interactive. I'm so happy that everybody is, attentive and trying to put out their problems in front of everybody. So, adulthood can be exciting and can be daunting as well. What we have to do today is we have to find a thin line as to how we can manage those and live our life with a holistic approach. Vidika, next. Now let's just understand what are the basic workshop objectives here today. So today we are first going to identify the common problems or navigate through the challenges which is faced by people who are young adults and how the transition to the entire adulthood looks like and understand the impact of it. Then exploring the strategies as well, learning practical techniques as well. And then the last is building a supportive community to share your experiences and your insights. Yes, Sri Lakshmi, I understand, that uh, you might feel that going to a counselor can probably, highlight a vulnerable part of your side. I do understand that. So I'm so sorry you're experiencing this, but with this workshop and with the objective which I have put forward, I am hoping that you will find a way that you will be able to navigate through it in a much, much, much better way. Next, Vedika, next, please. Now, let's understand the workshop outline. So, basically, what exactly are we going to do with it? First, understanding the challenges of the adulthood, which would entail identifying the common problems faced by young adults and impact of these challenges on mental health and well-being. Second would be overcoming financial challenges. What exactly are financial challenges? How would budgeting and financial planning work? What is debt management? What are savings? Next would be navigating through career development, which comes under the factor of setting realistic career goals and developing jobs so strategies as well. The next would be building healthy relationships, how to communicate effectively, how to communicate empathetically, how to establish boundaries, what exactly are boundaries, how to probably manage conflicts. Next is practicing self care and wellness, where you are prioritizing both your physical and your mental well being, which can help you manage your stress and burnout in a much, much, much more effective way. The next is building resilience and adaptability, where cultivating a growth mindset will help us give us a window as to how exactly a growth mindset works. And next would be learning from failures and setback. Once we learn from how to handle our failures and setback, our mind would go from the survival mode to the growth mindset. The next would be creating a supportive community where sharing experiences. This is a supportive community which we all are in. Perfect, where we are sharing our experiences, we're sharing our insights, where we are trying to understand what exactly are the challenges which we face in our adulthood, where we are collaboratively trying to finding solutions. So this is what a supportive community would look. Next, Vedika. Now, what exactly is adulting? So, adulting, please part of it. So, it can be overwhelming, it can be challenging as well. So, it becomes very important for people who belong to that age group to understand what exactly is supposed to be done with the opportunities you get, or what exactly is supposed to be done when a certain opportunities is, or you are put up for a certain responsibility, how exactly you're supposed to deal with it. Because most of people sometimes struggle in not one but multiple parts of life, be it career, be it personal life, be it household work, as it is being mentioned by everybody here. Yes, Rajita, I do understand that emotionally unavailable people do. Uh, it does make us feel like, oh, is something wrong with the way we are trying to put our needs, and that can lead to anxiety. I do understand that, and I'm so sorry that you're experiencing that. Yes, Sri Lakshmi, financial challenge can occur because you must have gone through a very tough phase. I do understand that all the problems which you are putting in the chat box is something which is not a good experience to go with. But at the same time, I want you to understand that these experiences are going to be the part and parcel of your lives. And dealing with it becomes essential. But the way you're dealing with it will help us understand uh, that how exactly a resilience can be built. So it is very important to learn how to balance your work and your personal life. It is very important to understand how to master essential life skills and how to adapt to the ever changing demands of the world, because the world is not going to stop for us. The world is going to change. Like, for example, in today's time, as you can see, the world is changing in such a drastic way. AI has come into a picture where it is completely changing the entire framework as to how people used to work, as to how people uh, used to do their work, to be very honest. If someone is felicitating their work with AI, it will help them climb the ladder in a much faster way. So, when it comes to changes in the world, that is going to happen, but it is going to be our job and our responsibility to cater to the changes and cater to the changes which we need to do in ourselves. Fair enough? Let's go to the next slide. Now, when it comes to adulting, there are multiple types of adulting. We are going to see what exactly are the types of adulting. Let's first understand the financial adulting. Now, this is one of the most important aspects because as we grow older, as we take responsibilities and as we start earning in our lives, what generally happens is in our first jobs, managing finances is something which we genuinely struggle with. Why? Because that is not something that we have dealt with in our past life. When we were in school, when we were in colleges, at that point of time, our parent or our sibling used to manage finances for us. So managing finances, budgeting, or allocating a certain money for certain needs and wants become a huge task. So financial adulting becomes a huge part of our lives. So basically, what we are going to do is we are going to find a way as to how you can manage your finances in a much more better way. Now, the next is going to be emotional adulting. Emotional adulting is all about how you regulate your emotions. Like, for example, a lot of people have said that, oh, I do not like people who are emotionally unavailable. I do not like people who are toxic, or sometimes I feel that I am a toxic person, as mentioned by multiple of you in the chat box here. Or probably, past trauma has led to trust issues. A past trauma has led to a fear to make new friends. Correct? So when it's about emotional adulting, such kind of experiences can occur in your life due to multiple reasons. External factors sometimes might not be in our control, but the way we handle our emotions, the way we regulate our emotions, and the way we prioritize ourselves is all what emotional adulting is all about. Okay. The next is career adulting. Now, career adulting is all about how to keep on upskilling yourself in a way that you reach to a goal you have set for yourself. Everybody, all of us here have different goals in a way that, oh, I want to achieve something after a couple of months. I want to go up to this level. I want to get this promotion after a couple of months, or I want to earn this type of money after a couple of months. Everybody, all of us have set different goals for ourselves. In order to achieve that goal, somewhere along the lines we need to understand that baby steps will change the entire framework as to how you climb the ladder or how you achieve success in your career. So career adulting is all about that. Now, the next is social adulting. Social adulting is how you take care of all your social relationships. When I talk about relationships, I'm not only talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about relationships with your family. I'm talking about romantic relationships as well. I'm talking about platonic relationships as well. I'm talking about how you manage relationships at work as well. All of these are very important aspects of your relationships. So how exactly are you managing that? How exactly are you, coming up with different ways to manage relationships in every aspect of your life? That is what social adulting is all about. Now, let's go to household adulting. When it comes to household adulting, work-life balance is something all of us have struggled with when we have initially started working. When it comes to managing household activities and when it comes to managing work, time can be a huge constraint. So, effectively trying to find a way as to how we can manage our time and at the same time managing our household activity with obviously a very good support system is all household adulting is all about. And the last but not the least, the most important is health adulting. As it's rightfully said, health is definitely wealth. So when it comes to health, I am not only talking about physical health or I am not only talking about mental health. I am talking about both here, physical and mental health. Why? Because both of them are interconnected in one or the other way. So taking care of your health as well as taking care of your mental health so that you can put your bring your best self in all other adulting categories which are mentioned here is all about health adulting. Let's go to the next one. Perfect. Now, before we go ahead with boundaries and the entire phenomena as to what boundaries is, I have a question for all of you. Has any one of you have ever struggled with setting boundaries, be it at work, be it at uh, relationship, or be it at finances? Sometimes what happens is sometimes a friend might ask money from us, we might give it out of goodwill, but the friend completely forgets to give us back. You might have set a particular budget for yourself for that month or that week, but since you have lent money to a specific friend, you might not, come in terms with the budget you have set. When it comes to workplace boundaries, it would be along the lines, oh, that a colleague has probably pushed a work onto you. And because you couldn't say no, you have to do that work. The same goes for relationship boundaries where you're not being able to verbalize your needs. So has it ever happened with any one of you? Okay, fair enough. Yes, but sometimes you end up feeling lonely and people can be selfish after setting boundaries. Fair enough. I didn't clear boundaries till ma'am. I suffered a lot due to that. Okay, anyone else? Please be free to share your experiences. I want this workshop to be as interactive as it can be. Yes, Jivishni, please go ahead.
Ma'am, not only that I struggled to keep boundary, even I crossed, I used to go and interact with negative people without thinking about any boundary. And I used to get into their toxic patterns. Or they used to mock me because they didn't like me at the first place. But I was too naive to enter into their circle or their personal space without thinking about any boundary. And I
Mm-hmm.
suffered a lot. And this year I started to put a real boundary with the
Mm-hmm.
with people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I do understand, and I'm happy that, after
Um,
experiencing something like that, you have set a very strong boundary for yourself. And I hope that this boundary setting has helped you focus more on yourself and has helped you with your mental health as well.
Yes, ma'am, a lot. Thank you.
Perfect. Yes. Yes, others have also responded always. And after that, I regret a lot because after that, I end up struggling. Yes, with my spouse, yes, I've been bullied. Okay. I'm so sorry, Swati, that you had to go through this experience. And if I do understand that sometimes people can be cannot be nice, can say some things which are not right, which are not morally right. But I just want to tell you, Swati, at this point of time, whatever people are saying to you could be a projection of whatever is happening into them. It could be projection of their insecurities as well. So a request to you that even if you are getting bullied in any which ways, please make sure to not get affected by it. I know it's easier said than done, but it is more of a journey. It is more of a stepping stone towards not being affected by it. So a little baby steps. Just understand that whatever people are saying, it's always about them and it is not about you.
Ma'am, I have one more thing to share.
Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, from childhood onwards, I have been born and brought up in an environment where my father was alcohol addicted, and like the
Mm-hmm.
environment which I was born and brought up in,
Mm-hmm.
I had faced difficulty in studying, and I
Mm-hmm.
had financial issues. I had health
Mm-hmm.
issues. I
Mm-hmm.
was from childhood onwards. I was like bullied by my neighbors that you are not good looking as your mother and all, or everything was compared to me. And like people were bullying not just for my size but also but saying that who will marry you, like you don't deserve to be in a great relationship, like this and that. And now also like I am surrounded by people who are of complaining and cribbing nature, but I wanted to be in a community. I wanted to go to a place but where I people are having that growth kind of a mindset. So
Mm-hmm.
like while how can I adjust myself while being in the company of such people who are like complaining and cribbing, because in when it comes to your family members you can't change them, right? And
Fair enough.
I want to go and explore myself, like know more about my thing, but and all, but like it always like they are showing that in a family also they are showing that it's self-sabotaging kind of a behavior, like towards
Mm-hmm.
themselves and to me as well. So
Mm-hmm.
what should I do in that case? How will I be, I mean I have taken steps to heal myself, like I do yoga. It's had have been a month I am doing yoga and I'm feeling great about it. But
Mm-hmm.
on a complete level I want to heal myself from the traumas that have been many I have been facing for so many long years. So
Mm-hmm.
how long it will take to heal and what are the steps I can take towards my healing journey? Can you ma'am please
Yes,
guide me?
yes. Swati, first of all, thank you so much for, gaining the courage to share your experience. I know it is very difficult to share your experience with a bunch of people you don't know, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through this experience. You need not worry about your healing. First, I would say that healing is a process. It's a process. So if ever you want to explore the part, if you actually want to contribute to your healing in long term process, I would suggest you to come for a one-on-one therapy session. Okay, that is the first thing which we will put on the table. Second, right now I will just give you a couple of tips which you can probably go ahead and actually apply in your current situation so that you do not feel overwhelmed or you do not feel anxious about anything. Okay? So, first, Swati, you have to understand that it is very important to build boundaries, as I've mentioned in the PPT as well. I do understand that it's very difficult to build boundaries when you are surrounded with your family members, but that is what adulting is all about. I wouldn't have told you to build the boundaries probably in your in your adolescence. But when it comes to adulthood, after a certain age, it becomes a necessity to build those boundaries. How to build those boundaries is to effectively communicate your needs and your wants in such a way that it doesn't offend or it doesn't disrespect the other person in front of you. Fair enough. That is the first thing which you can
Ma'am,
probably.
like if I'll say anything to the family members, like they are like, "Ki, you have been many you are being isolated from ourselves, and like you are like you are showing too much of attitude towards us, like that kind of a mentality they
Mhm.
have." So
Fair
like
enough. Fair enough. See, that is what I'm trying to tell you, Swati, that people will have different mentalities. People, sometimes you cannot control the external factors, but the way you communicate your needs probably might change the the path. Like for example, if you have communicated your certain needs in a certain way at that point of time, someone is not understanding that. If you change the way, if you assertively try to do it, they might understand. Now I want you to also be okay with the idea that, oh, if I am putting out my needs and my wants and if someone is not understanding, that is not in your control. Fair enough. If things are not in,
Yes,
if the
ma'am.
external factors are not in your control, they will
And
not.
since, as I told you, that I have been born and brought up in a abusive environment, so little noise also triggers me a lot. And like it's not like I don't want to be. I want to be unaffected by the environment's noise, but like still it triggers me a lot. So in that case, how do I heal myself?
Yes, I get it. It's absolutely, it's absolutely normal to go through this experience. Why? Because you've had different experiences in the past, most probably the negative ones. So that's why generally what happens is when you hear a very loud noise, it can affect you. That's a response. You're trying to protect yourself. I do understand, Swati, that this experience has, altered certain things for you. So first, as I mentioned, try to communicate effectively. If that is not working out, you will have to build a community for yourself where you can probably, uh, get in touch with people who are like-minded, who understand what exactly you're going through. Like for example, this community, as you can see, messages are filled for you in the in-call messages. Sri Lakshmi is very empathetic. Even Devika is understanding what the experience you're going through. So connecting with such people who understand your experience, who empathize with what you have been through will help you managing and regulating your emotions in a much better way. And the last would be a couple of grounding exercises which you can probably do on a daily basis so that if you're feeling very anxious or you're feeling very stressed, that might help you. At the end of the workshop, I am going to introduce a grounding exercise for each and every one of us. So if that's helpful, you can go ahead and do it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Yes, Shrinathni, go ahead.
Ma'am, I had to ask something related. Ma'am, if we are stuck in that environment where we are compared or we were compared, still we are stuck in that environment. Sometimes it's like maybe my mother is supportive, but my father is not much supportive, or the neighbors are. I can't go anywhere else because of my situations from the bad neighborhood. So how and also I had some issues with them due to this. Then how can I manage the situation? How can I not mind those people and go on with my life?
See, as you mentioned that the people you're conversing with are your parents, your mother and father. There might come times in your life where you actually want to, communicate with them. When it comes to, like when it comes to cutting people off or not indulging with people, that can be done to people who are probably not blood related to us and or are not relatives. When it comes to
Yes, ma'am.
parents, you will have to find a way to communicate with them. Now it completely depends on what exactly the issue is all about. So yes, Sri Lakshmi, if you want to talk about this in a greater depth, at a greater length, and actually want to, focus on one particular issue, I would genuinely request you to come for a one-on-one session where we can sit and we can understand where exactly is the problem. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
perfect. Yes, Devika, yes, I'm reading what you're saying. Family never wants to listen and never want to understand our feeling. Whenever I try to make them understand, it ends up with fight or an argument. Growing in such environment is very challenging. I do get it that growing in such environment is very, as Radhika rightfully said, that growing in such environment can really be challenging where your needs and your wants are not being listened to, where boundary setting is considered something which is more of a rebel kind of behavior. But at the same time, I want all of you to understand that you are your own person. It is very important to set the boundaries in different aspects of your life, be it relationships, be it workplace, or be it finances. So now let's understand why exactly boundaries are important. Vedika, next. Next. Perfect. The first and the foremost one, boundaries protect our emotional and our physical well-being. When we set boundaries with people who are not who are probably making us go through feelings of stress or feelings of anxiety or negative experiences, it hinders our emotional and our physical well-being. So it is extremely important to set boundaries for our own well-being. The second is it helps us define, that this is something which is acceptable by me and this is something which is not acceptable. When you put out a certain criteria for yourself, this is something which I can tolerate and this is something which I probably can't, people will understand ki baba, whoever is experiencing any issues with setting boundaries, they can try to do that. You can probably define ki, "Well, this is something I'm okay with, this is something I'm not okay with." With that, they will understand that she is her own person, he or she is their own person, and at the same time, I need to respect them. Why? Because they have grown up. The second would be boundaries help create an extremely safe space where you will feel respected and valued. When you set a very strong boundaries in any aspect of your life, it will help us understand that being respected and what being valued feels like. The next is without boundaries, relationships can be confusing, can be stressful, can be harmful. As we had discussion, and all of you who have been putting messages in the in-call messages, because of lack of boundary setting and because of people trying to push your boundaries, all these feelings are bubbling up where you can feel you're confused and you can feel you're stressed, and you can feel you're being harmed in a certain way. Boundary setting can help you not feel that way. The next is setting boundaries helps us communicate our needs clearly. As I rightfully said, that if you put your needs, if you put your wants, and if you tell people that this is what is acceptable and this is what is not acceptable, that will help us communicate our needs in a much more assertive way. It also helps us managing stress and building trust. Boundaries are extremely essential for managing healthy connections with others as well. Because if we are setting boundaries, the other person will know, but this is something other person will not probably do for me, and they will not even come and ask you. And this is something the other person will do for me, so they'll come and verbalize their needs and wants in a much effective way. So I hope all of you have understood that why it is very important to set the boundaries, and a couple of things which I have said as to how you can set them. I hope all of you try to at least follow them in a very baby step way. Okay, next one. Now let's understand the challenges of adulting. We have understood, what adulting is all about. We have understood, what boundary setting is all about. Now, as we navigate the challenges of adulting, I want all of you to understand that it can get overwhelming. Why? Because you have new set of responsibilities, new set of expectations. And when you are navigating through all of this, it can get a little daunting as well. So this workshop will help us identify and work around those challenges to make sure that we are effectively handling them while prioritizing our personal well-being too. So let's just, before we jump onto the challenges of adulting, do any one of you want to share anything with me up till now, whatever we have covered in our workshop?
Ma'am, 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 telling about the challenges, sometimes
Mhm.
we feel like this overthinking and such problems happens, and then we
Mhm.
are like we can't have that balance of our life of
Mhm.
managing both the our tasks and our aim or our dream. We are working for that goal, and sometimes we get to a stage where we can't move to continue. We can't continue the past, and also we can't
Mhm.
heal the. We can't heal the past and we can't continue with the present. Such a state we reach. So how can we heal from that mode?
Yes, I do understand that this experience might be very, very difficult and very daunting. At the same time, I want you to understand that the challenges are going to be the part and parcel of life. We have to build an emotional resilience around it and find the ways to handle them effectively. So that is what we are going to discuss in the next part of our workshop. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Vedika, next. Next. Vedika, you can go ahead. Next, please. Perfect. Now, the first and foremost challenge is financial management. When it comes to financial management, all of us genuinely struggle with it when it comes to budgeting or when it comes to debt management. Budgeting is it's more along the lines that, oh, I have earned a specific amount of money, I have a salary, but how exactly am I supposed to budget it? How exactly am I supposed to, allocate the money for my needs, for my wants, and how exactly am I supposed to save? It can get extremely overwhelming during our first jobs as well, and late in the later parts of life as well. because there are certain expectations which are set from us. We have certain responsibilities as well. So when it comes to the entire concept of budgeting, it can get daunting. The next would be debt management. Sometimes, for our studies, you probably take a loan, or sometimes there is certain kind of loan which is not with respect to our families, but with respect to our families. So when we come into a specific age, we are sometimes expected to actively contribute in getting rid of that loan as well. So when it comes to financial management, these two topics or these two parameters are something which all of us need to find a way to find a balance in. Fair enough. Let's go to the next one.
Yes.
Yes. The next is career development. Now, when it comes to career development, I think everybody and all of us know what is happening in the country. Given the fact that we are one of the most highly populated country, all of these things are going to happen. Job market competitiveness. There's one job where 1,000 people are applying for one job. When it comes to applying, everyone is overbooked. Everyone is overburdened. And this is not only with respect to certain industries. Many industries face this. Like, for example, you must have heard that TCS is laying off 12,000 employees because of whatever reasons, whatever reasons they are putting out in front of the world. My point is, those 12,000 people might have families. Those 12,000 people might have just started working. The amount of physical and mental toll which takes up on them after not having a job can create a lot of issues and can make the entire process of adulting difficult as well. So job market competitiveness is one of the most important aspects when it comes to the career development part. The second is work-life balance. How exactly are you supposed to manage that? How exactly are you supposed to manage work and life? Because the timing of our jobs, or like for example, sometimes the commute can create a lot of hassle. So when you come back home, you do not have a lot of time for yourself, for your own well-being, for your own physical and mental well-being. So that genuinely creates a lot of issues when it comes to taking care of your mental health as well, and also your physical health. Next, the next is personal relationships. Now, maintaining existing relationships and building new relationships can be a very challenging process because of the lack of time or because of different reasons. Like, for example, maintaining existing relationships can get difficult because of lack of time, because of lack of prioritization. Because even if somebody is working from Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they just want to sit back and relax, which is absolutely fine. But sometimes what generally happens is that can cost our existing relationship because we genuinely do not have the mental bandwidth or the physical bandwidth to cater to or go out to socialize with our friends or anybody with our family. The next would be building new relationships. Now, building a relationship can genuinely take up a lot of space. It it is required a lot of effort to put in, and sometimes because of lack of a work-life balance or because of lack of prioritization, because of lack of time management skills, building new relationship can feel extremely daunting. So this is also one of the very important challenges with people who are in the adulthood phase. Next, health and well-being. As I mentioned before, physical health and mental health takes a huge toll if other aspects of our adult life is not taken care of. Everything is interconnected. We do not take care of ourselves. If we do not take care of ourselves, we do not have a very effective work-life balance, or if we do not have very good time management skills, or if we do not how to set boundaries, our physical health and mental health is going to get affected. And once our physical health and mental health gets affected, it is very difficult to show up in the other parts of the adulthood. Fair enough? So I want everybody and all of you to understand that everything is interrelated, and all of us need to show up and do small work in all the aspects of our life. Next, time management. This is a very important one. Prioritization and organizing. People struggle with this. They genuinely cannot prioritize what is needed. And when prioritization is not there, it leads to lack of organization. When lack of organization is not there, goal setting becomes extremely difficult because, oh, okay, I've set a certain goal for myself. Okay, I want to probably achieve this goal. But if I have not prioritized my task, if I've not organized my daily life, or if I've not set a very strong deadlines for me, how exactly am I going to do that? So goal setting, or even after goal setting, achieving that goal can lead to a lot of issues given the fact that prioritization and organization is not there. Let's go to the next one. Now let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, I think I'm having some issues over here. It's asking request.
Yes, just give me 1 second.
Yes.
Meanwhile, all of you can, just take a breather, just go and have water, just, relax yourselves. I know coming up with certain issues, you all actively trying to participate in this workshop can bring up old memories as well. So I want all of you, to go and just have a sip of water. Perfect, perfect. So now, before we jump to the practical strategies which we can apply to overcome the challenges, we have understood, oh, this is adulting, how we can set the boundaries, what are the challenges which we face, how can we navigate through it. Now, in the next part of the workshop, we are going to understand how exactly we are going to work around. Before that, just a little short break. Let's just read whatever is presented to you on the slide. Next one. So this is basically all about the organization we work for, which is called as MindTribe. This is something what one-on-one counseling will look like. You will be asked to define the problem. The confidentiality will be mentioned. Your personal growth will be the priority. Problem solving will be the part and parcel of the entire session, and the next will be goal setting. So this is how the entire flow of one-on-one counseling session takes place. So if any of you after this workshop want to explore one-on-one counseling, you can definitely come and get in touch with us. Next one. Now, a couple of counseling misconceptions which we have listed here. Please understand that counseling is not only for those who are sick. Counseling is required by people who want to have better relationships, who want to have academic success, who want to have career advancement, or just want to make a few friends. So please understand that the taboo around counseling is not something which all of you need to have. The reality is very different. Next one. Now, everybody will have a question as to why choose MindTribe as one of the way of taking counseling sessions. Please understand that we do have highly talented counselors who have experiences in the field of psychology for 4 to 5 years, who have dealt with people who come from very different backgrounds, who are multilingual as well, Hindi, English, Marathi, Bengali. So when it comes to language, there wouldn't be an issue. The next is affordable charges. The charges range for 800 to 2400, depending on the seniority of the counselor. The first session will cost only rupees 249. So, like for example, you want to take a counseling session, the first session will cost 249. If you're willing to go ahead and book the next session, then the prices will increase. We do also offer affordable packages where you can do one-time investments, and once you do one-time investments, the counseling sessions can be streamlined in that way. Any doubt with respect to any of the one-on-one counseling session process I have provided information on? If you have any urgent questions, we can take it up or you can ask me. Okay. Uh, yes, ma'am, I want to ask something related to relationship time management. Partner is really busy in his life, try to give him time, but sometimes he's irritated and I feel toxic. Yes, Devika, I do understand that it can feel very emotionally taxing to deal with uh, a relationship problem. I do understand that. What we will do is we will find a way to understand your issues as we go ahead with the workshop. Okay? When we discuss as to how to manage relationships at that point of time, I'll take up this issue. Okay? Devika? Perfect. Yes, Vedika, let's go to the next one.
Okay, just give me a minute.
Mm-hmm. Devika, please understand that, when it comes to relationship, it has to be a two-way process. It has to be a two-way effort. Okay? Perfect. Now, let's come to the most interesting and the next part of our workshop. So basically, it is very important for you all to understand that acceptance is going to be the key to everything. Coming into acceptance with adulting will genuinely help you navigate through the challenges of it in a much, much, much better way. Please remember that adulting is a continuous learning process, not a final destination. It's not like, oh, I'll do something for myself, my problem will go away. No, you have to show up for yourself at each passing day, and you have to make changes and find a way to help yourself every day. You have to understand that mistakes and imperfections are part and parcel of life. They are part and parcel of life. So even if you have made a mistake or even if you're imperfect in a certain aspect of your life, that is going to cater to your personal growth because you will learn something from it. Okay? The next would be practice self compassion with facing challenges or setbacks. Mrinalini, the workshop will last for some time. If you wish to leave it, please let me know. The last is practicing self compassion with facing challenges and setbacks. Be compassionate to yourself, love yourself, understand that you are a human, you can make mistakes, uh, you can face challenges, you can have negative experiences. But it's very important to be kind to yourself. Next one. Coping with adulting. Now, here I have listed down a couple of things as to how we can exactly cope with adulting. The first is embracing self awareness. Be extremely self aware as to why exactly a certain problem is happening. When it comes to problems, if the other person is at fault, hold them accountable. If you are at fault, hold yourself accountable as well. Because it's extremely important to practice self awareness if you want to deal with a particular issue. The next would be financial management, developing time and time management skills. This basically means is how exactly are you going to manage your finances. Follow 50-30-20 rule where you're allocating 50% of your salary to your needs, 30% to your wants, and 20% has to go in the savings. When you follow 50-30-20 method, all your money which you have earned or all your salary is getting bifurcated in a way, and you're not going to spend on filler spendings, like for example, which you think are filler spending, which can be any spending. The next would be time management skills. When it comes to time management, there are multiple ways you can manage your time. to be very honest. Like, for example, prioritizing what exactly is important, understanding the need of an hour. In this day, I want to get done with all of these activities. So, day prior, make a to do list for yourself, make a checklist for yourself, and make sure that you are allocating specific time to specific tasks. When you're doing that, you will feel good. Oh, I've done this, let me check it. Let me put a tick. Or I've done this, let me put a tick. What that how that helps is you will genuinely feel better about completing a task, and it will motivate you to set time and help you cater to your time management needs in a much better way. The next is building a support network. The way you are all part of this workshop today, the way you are actively, trying to be part of this workshop, trying to, share your experiences, trying to understand what exactly might be the issue, is all building a support network. I would also recommend you to find support system when it comes to building friendships as well. Good friendships where your friend is showing empathy towards you. Next is practicing self-care. This is one of the most important ones. Even if nobody is showing up for you, it is very important for you to show up for yourself. No problem, Devika. No problem. No problem. Yes, so that is what I was talking, Devika. How exactly you're supposed to embrace your self awareness, how exactly it is okay to take accountability for your problems and hold others accountable as well. How you can financially manage your salary or your finances by following a 50-30 rule. How can you effectively manage your time, where you can probably make a to-do list a day prior and allocate a specific time for it, and the next day make sure to you're completing those tasks, which will help us bring awareness. Oh, I'm spending a lot of time on this task. I'll probably spend some time else on other task. And once you do the checklist method, you will feel a sense of achievement, which will motivate you to probably do the checklist method for the next upcoming days as well. Building a support system is what we are doing here, Devika, where we are trying to, help each other out, trying to understand the problems we are going through. The next will be practicing self-care. Physical and mental health, very important. Please make sure to inculcate at least a 30-minute physical health routine, be it Pilates, be it workout, be it weight training, be it yoga, be it walking as well. Please make sure to inculcate at least 30 or 20 to 30 minutes of physical activity in your daily life. That will genuinely help you ground yourself in a much, much, much better way. Next is meditating, sitting with your thoughts and letting them run through your mind. Just being aware, being more present will genuinely help you understand that, oh, certain things are going on in my head. I need to ground myself. I need to probably focus on one problem at that point of time, which will help in prioritization as well, because you know that this problem is something I do not want to deal with right now. So when you sit with your thoughts, it will help you streamline your problem in a way that you will find ways to deal with it in a much better way. The next is effective communication and relationship building. When it comes to effective communication and relationship building, empathetic listening is very important. Sometimes what generally happens is we talk to a person, we are just not listening. In our mind, we're just trying to, find a way where, oh, I just want to respond to him. I just want to respond to him or her. I do not want to have conversation. Or this might happen with you, where you're trying to put out your needs, but the other person is just arguing. Other person is just countering to whatever you're saying. That does happen. So it's very important to develop a process of empathetic listening, where you're listening to what the person is saying, you're understanding what the person is trying to emote or trying to express. You are probably putting an open-ended question in front of them with an intention of understanding more, which could be along the lines, oh, is this what you're going through, or is this what I am assuming? If you have certain assumptions regarding certain things, that will probably help you understand that, oh, I have certain assumptions about certain in this conversation. I need to probably rewire as to how I am thinking. Correct? So when that happens, an effective communication happens, and when effective communication happens, it leads to a very good relationship building effort. Okay? The next is continuous learning and adaptability. It is very important for you to keep on learning in life for your career development and for your self development as well. Being aware of what exactly is happening with me, being aware as to what exactly or what kind of a human I am. And when it comes to career, learning and adapting to the different um, needs and wants of the job market is very important. How can you do that? Taking up a couple of online courses, seeing what other people in the industries are doing, uh, increasing your online presence via different job portals or via different applications as well, which will help you understand and also in connecting with people from your industry, which will help you understand as to what exactly is the changes which is happening in the job market. The next would be celebrating milestones and progress. Please understand a small win is also a win. A minuscule win is also a win. So it is very important for you to understand that even if your wins are small, it is your responsibility to celebrate it because it will help you develop a very, very, very uh, good sense of self compassion, and self love towards yourself. Fair enough? Let's go to the next one. Now we have understood what exactly is supposed to be done. Let's just understand a couple of coping strategies, which there are multiple of them. You can pick whichever works for you. Some people like gaming. Some people, like to go and play outside. Some people like to game. So what you can do is, take a couple of 20 minutes of your day over the weekend and just do something which will help you. Declutter. Probably some people like cleaning a lot. I am somebody, to be very honest, I am someone who genuinely likes cleaning. When it comes to decluttering my mind, so take up that, declutter your mind, listen to a good soothing music which will help you streamline your thoughts, get out of the house, just take up your vitamin D, understand, just talk to people, just get out of your comfort and get out of the house, walk a couple of steps. That will help you understand that, oh Baba, if I get out I might feel better. Sitting at your place for a very long time can sometimes lead to a lot of overthinking as well. Next one. Yes, Vedika, you can go to the next one. Connect. Connect to your friends. Connect to the people who care about you. Connect to people over social media. Connect to people who have good intentions for you. Okay? Try to talk to people. Try to understand. Come for more workshops at MindTribe. Try to understand what exactly is happening for you. We do have weekly workshops. Try to come for the workshop. Try to connect with the people. Try to understand what they're going through. When we share experiences, our empathy towards that person increases a lot. As I mentioned, get active. When it comes to being active, physical exercise is important. So please try doing that. You can probably go watch a movie for yourself. You can probably paint or sketch or something which you like to do. When it comes to pampering yourself, you can pamper yourself. Oh, there are different ways. How I pamper myself, I just go out and take a very long walk with my dog because I have a lot of animals at my place. So I like doing that. I like pampering them because it makes me happy. So there are different ways where you can show up for yourself at least for 20 minutes in a day, or at least for um, 10 minutes in a day. There are different ways. It is your job and it is your responsibility to show up for yourself. Okay, let's go to the next one. Vedika, you can go to the next one. Now, this is something which I have put up for all of you to understand, that it is very important to understand your strengths. If you know what your strengths are, if you are aware as to what your strengths are, you will have a better self esteem and you are more likely to complete your goals. Now, when it comes to goal setting, please remember that it is very important for you to first set small term goals or short term goals and then accumulate them and then convert them into long term goals. Okay? So set specific short term goals for yourself, and once you achieve the short term goals, you will achieve your long term goal. Do not directly jump onto achieving your long term goal because that might be a little daunting as well. Now, to achieve a certain goal, you need to understand your strengths. You need to understand this is my strength and this is what I need to work on. So what you can do is this is just a worksheet which we have put up for you. Think about any fictional character, Name any inspiring character from a book. You must have seen movies, you must have read books, you must have seen TV shows as well. We sometimes pick up a character which we find extremely motivating, extremely inspiring. You can list their strengths and you can describe how they use their strengths to overcome their challenges, which will give you a perspective. That perspective will help you probably using the same strength or identify your strengths to overcome your challenges. Fair enough? The next part is naming a person you know. Now, this is the first one was about the fictional character. The next would be about naming a person or a person you find inspiring. It could be a friend, it could be a relative, it could be a mom, it could be a dad, it could be a sibling, anyone. List their strengths as well. And then describe how they use their strengths to overcome challenges in their everyday life. By doing that, you will understand that, oh, this person has this strength. Probably even I have it. Probably even I have this strength. So why not use that strength of mine and achieve my goals in a much better way? Fair enough? So it is very important for you to spot your strength, and you can do this today. Sit and start noting down the strengths, start noting down how they overcome their challenges, and correlate that with your experiences, with your life, understand what strengths you have, and then start taking an action for yourself. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Uh, Perfect. So now we have come to the end of our workshop. We have discussed as to what adulting is. We have discussed as to what boundary setting is. We have discussed what challenges we face. And the last is where we have understood how we can overcome it. Uh, yes, Ninad, ma'am, how can we know fictional character has overcome challenges? Okay, Ninad. So, like for example, you must have seen a movie. In movie, generally, what generally happens is a character is given certain life challenges, and that in order to probably cross those life challenges or to get over those life challenges, they genuinely showcase particular strengths. Okay, Nina, just give me an example of your favorite movie. What movie do you like?
Actually, the movie which I
Nina,
love is
you're not audible. Nina, you're not audible. Can you just type it out if that's fine? As Sri Lakshmi rightfully said, path of words, like how Jerry has from Tom, exactly. So basically, in the entire cartoon, we see that, oh, Jerry is very smart. He knows, how he can manipulate Tom, how he can do certain things which, can put Tom under the radar and not him. So, that is how we take examples from the fictional characters. Yes, Ninad, whatever issues you have, you can type it out because I can't hear you. There's a lot of disturbance. Just give me an example. Okay, to give you an example as what Shri Lakshmi rightfully said, how Jerry escapes from Tom. Like for example, you must have seen that cartoon where I you must okay. So I'm giving you an example. You must have seen that cartoon where probably Jerry is finding ways to put Tom under the pedestal, to put Tom under the radar, and finding his own ways. Those are Jerry's strengths. Even though he's small inside, but he's smart. He knows how to deal with certain things. So those are basically the yes, perfect. Actually, Lakshmi rightfully said Tarzan. As he's overcoming his challenges, Nemo keeps swimming. Perfect, perfect. I'm loving the examples you're giving, Sri Lakshmi. I'm loving how you're understanding the entire crux of this workshop. Where Nemo is somebody uh, who is navigating his entire life, who's left alone, who's separated from his family, from his friends, and he's just navigating through the entire life by taking help of others. So that is what it is all about, identifying your own strengths by taking examples of beautiful films you have seen, beautiful characters you have seen. Perfect. Now we have come to the Q&A section of our workshop. If you have any questions, please do ask. I do have a couple of messages. I'm going to read them out. I want to, okay. Shweta says, I've got a feeling what he said. Okay. I couldn't move on. I do understand, Shweta, that it can be extremely daunting to deal with an experience. And it's been 3 years and you're dealing with that. I do understand. I would say that it is very important for you at this point of time to build boundaries with yourself. Okay, more along the lines that, oh, it is going to be an experience where you might feel that, oh, mm, the other person is holding on to you, but at this point of time, your personal well-being and your emotional well-being is going to be the priority. If you think the other person is holding on to you, what you can do is probably assertively put out a conversation. Of a mode of communication can be developed where you can tell the other person that this is what something I genuinely do not wish to continue. I hope you understand, and I hope you respect my boundaries as well. I know boundary setting can be difficult, but what you can do is developing a very strong mode of boundary setting can genuinely help you leave that part of your life. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm actually dealing with confusion in careers. I can't take perfect decision, and this overwhelms me. Can you guide me, and how also new changes in the job, confusing in careers. Okay. Yes. I do understand that given the times we are living in, and the confusion in careers is, given the fact that AI is advancing at such a huge rate, the confusion can persist. So, Ninad, I want you to understand particular things. I want you to take your core skills into the picture here. What exactly are your core skills? When it comes to core skills, what exactly have you studied first? What exactly your job profile entails? If you are trying, if any soft skills are needed for you to perform, try to understand how exactly are those soft skills going to be beneficial. Try to connect with people who probably are transitioning to a different job, who are probably, who are dealing with the same issue as you are at this point of time. At the same time, understand that what kind of job you want to do. What exactly are you expecting from that job? Is it only financial security, or is it more along the lines, or is it more along the lines where you want to, have a peace of mind as well? So understand what your needs are, understand what your core skills are, understand how you can develop your soft skills more, and try to reach out to as many people as you can so that they resonate with your experience and they can give you a much more uh, industry oriented advice. Okay, Nana? And if, like, for example, you want to navigate through this entire thing at a greater length, where you probably want to sit and make me understand the confusion in career which you are facing, because this is something, because I have no idea what career you are in right now. So I am just giving you a few couple of generic tips which can help you walk through the current problem you're facing through. But if in the later future, if you want to come up and discuss this at a greater length, I would recommend you to come for the session. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So I hope, okay. Yes, Devika, I'm a sensitive person. Sometimes it is challenging. And I overthink, it makes me anxious. I cut myself because of I feel hurt my loved ones. Okay, I'm challenging career, figuring out. I just want to build a strong mindset, so I don't understand. Okay, Devika, you have to understand that the process of building a strong mindset is again a process. You might be struggling in different aspects of life, but I want you to prioritize as to which one is causing a lot of emotional distress to you right now, and focus on that. When you streamline your problems and when you focus on one thing, you won't feel so cluttered. It will help you declutter your mind. Once you declutter your mind, it will help you streamline your problems. And once you streamline your problems, you will be able to find the solution. Also, I want to make myself busy. The notion of making yourself busy comes from the fact that you need to actively show up for yourself, as we have discussed in the ways of coping. Do something for yourself, get out of the house, talk to people, do something which you really like doing. Or probably if you're facing challenges in your career, start upskilling yourself. Talk to people who are in your career, who are in your industry. Talk to people who are probably facing the same challenges, understand what they are doing. If they have figured out their problem, you will understand, oh, what I am not doing probably I'm not being able to figure out in my life. It is very important because you wanting to keep yourself busy without an action will not help. I want you to actively come up with a solution when it comes to engaging in activities which will bring you peace. Okay? But ma'am, boundaries make me feel like I'm selfish and I don't care like that. Actually, like a victim. See, Shweta, it is a very normal feeling to feel. It's a very normal emotion to feel because you're somebody who probably wouldn't have, set a very strong boundaries, and now setting one can make you feel selfish. But I want you to understand that setting boundaries for yourself, which will cater to your personal well-being and which will cater to your emotional well-being, is never ever going to make you selfish. Just a tip for you: set boundaries with people who are actually not being right by you and not with people who care for you. Okay? Cutting everybody off and can lead can sometimes lead to loneliness as well. So I want you to understand that set boundaries, but only with people who are being negative towards you. Okay. Any more questions? Yeah, as she has me like rightfully said, it can get daunting. Definitely. MindTribe is here if you want to come for one-on-one session, if you want to, explore the concerns more, if you want to, work on yourself at a greater level, you can anytime come and, take up sessions. It would be a more person-centric, it will be more you-centric, it will genuinely help you understand what exactly is the problem. Devika, it is genuinely subjective. If if your loved one is showing up for you, if your loved one actually cares for you, try to show up for them as well so that you can probably talk about what's hurting you and they can help you in a much more productive way. Okay, sometimes while drawing boundaries feels like I hurt other people. Okay, I do understand, Rajita, that sometimes drawing boundaries can feel like, oh, you're hurting people, oh, you are hurting other people. That is what I rightfully said. Boundary setting is a very important aspect, but who are you setting it with? Why are you setting it with? What is the purpose of setting it with? Boundary setting can act in both the ways. One, it can act negatively for you, one, it can act positively for you. We want boundary setting to be positive for you. So set boundaries with people who probably aren't catering to your emotional and personal needs. Fair enough? And not with people who are actually showing up for you. How to stop over analyzing situations and people and their behaviors. Rajita, it's a loop, it's a cycle. Overthinking can stem from different issues. So if you want to, talk about this, because to be very honest, I will have to understand your situation. I will have to understand what exactly you are going through, and then I will be able to give you a better solution. So I would request you that if you want to understand the and if you want the solution, please do come for a one-on-one session. Okay? When someone when someone notices me, I open it. It makes me feel differently. I do understand that, It feels like you are put under scrutiny. You are put under a radar. I understand that. As I rightfully said, Rajita, that if you want to explore all of these situations, if you want to find a solution to it, because there is no quick fix, you will have to come and you will have to talk to me about that later. Okay? How to make a decision and not regret it later. Okay. Shweta, when it comes to decision, I want you to make an informed one. When it comes to decision, you have to understand that before making a decision, you have to consider all the aspects of the situation. You have to understand the pros of the situation, to understand the cons of the situation. Then you give, when you understand the pros and the cons, you understand that, Baba, I'm taking this decision in a way which will benefit me. So before taking a decision, take a couple of days for yourself, understand what the situation is going to bring out for me, and then go ahead and take a decision. Okay, you can make a pros and cons list. You can understand, oh, this situation is going to help me. How this situation is not going to help me. Perfect. So I think we've taken up a lot of questions and I've answered almost to all of them. Hope that all of you have benefited from this workshop in some or the other way. And if you ever want to explore more when it comes to one-on-one counseling session, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Now let's end this workshop with a short grounding exercise. It is called as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sensory awareness. You have to first is please look around. You have to name 5 things which you can see right now. I want everyone to actively do this with me. Look around, name 5 things which you can see right now. Next, touch. Notice 4 things which you can physically feel: your hair, your chair, your hair, your hands, your phone, your laptop, anything. Next is identify 3 sounds which you can hear around you. Next, smell. Become aware of 2 smells in your environment. Probably the mm, smell of, of a perfume, or probably the smell of whatever your mom is cooking for you. And the last is taste. Notice one taste in your mouth, or you can imagine a comforting taste. Oh, a couple of days back, I had a very good biryani. So you can probably imagine the taste of that. So this is a grounding exercise which I want all of you to keep on doing if you ever feel extremely stressed, if you ever feel like you are going through a tough phase and you want to, calm yourselves down. There is a way of doing it. You will have to do this for at least 10 minutes every day so that this will genuinely give you results. Good, Sri Lakshmi, I'm extremely proud of the fact that you are actively trying to do this. Does it let's aware? Yes, that is what I'm trying to say, Nana. That you might have multiple thoughts in your head, multiple things in your head, and you are just overthinking. What this grounding exercise would help you is focus in the present at this point of time. When you are using all your 5 senses, it will help you focus in the present. It will help you bring back to the present situation, which will help you calm yourself. Once you calm yourself, you can make better decisions. You can have more productive thought process, and you can find solutions to your problems in a much more effective way. So this is what the entire grounding exercise is, which helps us, bring sensory awareness into picture. Thank you so much, Lakshmi, for being so active and so interactive during the entire workshop. I hope, Ninad, I have solved your doubt. So yes, let's go to the next one. Yudhika? Perfect. So these are our counseling offers. We have discussed that during the ad. Just take a couple of seconds and just pass through it, read through it. Perfect. I hope all of you have read this. Let's go to the next one. Perfect. So in this, we have listed down the other areas in which we function. Affordable counseling is one of them. Free group therapy. We genuinely provide group therapies as well, but it is not a one-day thing. It's a 12-week program. So showing up for that will help you, understand your concerns in a much, much better way, and will help you develop your resilience in a much better way. We have rich mental health resources. We provide guided meditations as well. You can make use of YouTube to go ahead and find the links for that. And email is mentioned here, and WhatsApp. If ever you want to reach out to MindTribe for any of these services, you can reach out to us. Next one. So yes, we've come at the end of our workshop. Thank you so much, everyone, for being so interactive, for being comfortable enough to share your problems with me. And I am hoping for you to attend other workshops as well. Please make sure, if you have time, attend group therapies as well. And if ever you feel that, oh, my problem is something I want to deal with and I want